Hey girlies, welcome back or welcome if you've never been here before. My name is Marta, I live in Spain because life is pain. That's our favorite joke here. I look like Hannah Montana a little bit, this microphone, but it's so hot I need the fan. Little tip for you, do not come to the south of Spain in summer, like winter. Absolutely fantastic. Summer, absolutely not. Okay, so first of all, my classic warnings, disclaimers, not warnings. I do not have a degree in politics or history or anything useful. Take everything I say with a pinch of salt. This is what I googled and this is what I know. That's why it's going to be really basic. This is mostly what everyone knows in Spain. This is like, if you're out of Spain, this is what we mostly know. I look up a little bit more, just a few things. So basically, I'm going to explain the monarchy. I'm going to try to be as objective as I can, but I'm going to be biased, okay? I'm just gonna say I'm going to be biased. However, I need to be objective because you cannot talk shit about the monarchy in Spain. It's literally illegal, and I have proof of it. There has been people that has been arrested in Spain for talking shit about the monarchy. So there was this rapper Pablo Hasél. He was sentenced to 9 months in prison because in one of his songs he referred to the last king. Oh, I need emeritus, the emeritus king. This makes sense. The last king of Spain. He referred to him as a tyrant drunk. He tweeted things criticizing the police, so he was accused of exalting terrorism. I don't know how, and like threats to the crown. So we have to be careful about that. So basically, I feel like many people don't even know that Spain has a monarchy. Side note, first of all, if you say in the States, if you say I'm Republican, that means conservative, and then Democrats are progressive, right? In Spain, if you say Republican, it's kind of the opposite. It's not exactly, because we don't refer to it as like political parties. You just say I'm left-winged or I'm right-winged, and that's basically it. Or progressive and conservative. But if you say you're Republican, that means you're against the monarchy, and usually you're left-winged. Like, there's almost no one right-winged who's also against the monarchy. I guess there must be some people, but I don't think there are a lot, and I don't think there's anyone who's left-winged and for monarchy. I don't think so. So just FYI, especially if you live in the States. I don't know if in other countries this is the same, so I'm guessing in countries that also have monarchy, I'm guessing most European countries are like ours, but just so you know. So right now, the king in Spain is Felipe VI, his wife Leticia. Fun fact, she was a reporter in Spain. Like we saw her in TV, and now we see her in magazines, I guess. And then their daughters, Leonor and Sofia. Leonor is the one who's going to be queen, but she's like really, really young. I think they're both underage right now, I'm pretty sure. I'm not sure, but I'm pretty sure. Here's the thing, they are not really interesting, so we're going to talk about the emeritus king, which is Juan Carlos I. So he was a bit controversial. That's why this video is titled Unhinged. If I talked about the current monarchy, it's not. It's just what I said, that's it. But the previous one, that's interesting. At the age of 18, he allegedly, don't sue me, allegedly shot his brother on the head. His brother Alfonso, he was around 14 years old, and they were playing with this gun, and it accidentally shot him in the head. And so their father, Juan, he got rid of the gun, and he ordered to not investigate the case. And so they basically said that it was Alfonso who accidentally pulled the trigger. But it's like, how do you pull the trigger accidentally to your head? I'm not saying anything, I'm just saying allegedly. This is allegedly, okay? Juan Carlos was also known for hunting elephants. That's like, you have a hobby, right? I'm not here to judge. Here's the thing, main reason why most people I'm saying most, but I have something here that I looked for, because I was thinking, why don't we get to vote this? Like, we cannot vote if we want monarchy or not. We just have it, and we don't vote them. They just the succession line, right? So I was thinking, why no one is like offering, any political parties, why no one is offering to take this down and just be a republic? Because I was looking to see how many of us will vote against this, and apparently in 2015 they were like doing a survey about, and it's not exactly if people were against the monarchy, but if they like how it was portrayed, like how the king was doing. And I'm not sure, I should have looked it up. I'm not sure in this year who was the king, if it was Juan Carlos or Felipe. I will put it here. But in 2015, it was a 4.34 over 10. So it's like people are not liking this. And again, I think this is not like who wants republic. It's like who doesn't like what they're doing, how the monarchy is doing, how the crown is doing. And apparently, because it was less than 10, like before that year, it was around 5, maybe 6. And because that year was below 10, below 5, below half, that was the last year they did a survey. So it's like, we've been 8 years without getting to even tell our opinion. Anyways, we're gonna talk about this a little bit more afterwards, but one of the things why we don't like it, first of all, the money. I got here that the New York Times, I think, the New York Times published an article titled I can say this word, Chastened King seeks redemption for Spain and his monarchy. Wow, that was so hard to say. And so they say that the fortune of the royal family was estimated to be $2,300 million. So we don't really like that. One of the main reasons why we're against this is because I can talk about this in another video, like further deeper into this topic if you want me to. But we had a dictatorship between. It started in 1939, right? Yeah, the civil war in Spain was from 1936 to 1939, and then from that year to 1975, the dictator died, and that's why it ended basically. However, the royal family was kind of friends with the dictator, and so apparently Juan Carlos, who started to being king when this guy died, I'm just saying this guy, to the biggest dictator in Spain. When Franco died, he swore to like perpetuate the regime. You know what I mean? We kind of think that it's sort of the same thing that we lived. I didn't live that, but like we had that dictatorship, and now the monarchy, it's like they weren't against it. They were actually just like friends with it. Like they're kind of the same. You know what I mean? They're related. And apart from that, this king, I'm not going to name everything he was accused of, but among other things, he sold guns to countries in war. He supported other I can say this word, authoritarians regimes, like other dictatorships, and corruption. That's a lot of corruption was there. So this basically was why most people, again, most left-winged people do not like the monarchy. And I was looking up the laws because I knew like you cannot talk shit about the crown, like you can go to prison for that. And I was just looking that, but then I thought, okay, but why do you have a monarchy? Because most countries don't. Like, this is a really old thing. And I was like, okay, but what's the point of this? Like, what's the role of the king in the monarchy? So basically, as far as I'm concerned, it's literally just like nothing really. Like, they basically represent Spain, but I feel like that's also the job of the president's job, right? Like, it's in every other country. It's the president's job to represent the country. About the laws and the constitution and stuff, the king don't really do anything about it. Like, he doesn't really propose laws. He doesn't take part in the decisions and in the laws, but like a law cannot be accepted and applied if the king is not for it. if the king doesn't sign like a thing, like a paper or something, like he has to agree with the law, is what I'm saying. So I feel like that's why we cannot take down the monarchy, like just we cannot vote against it, because they will have to agree with that, with the fact that we don't want the monarchy. They have to be like, okay, they voted against that, so we don't have monarchy anymore. Like they have to sign that, and I've said that. So that I think that's why we're not voting. We don't have the chance to speak up about this, and I think that's why. This is kind of crazy to me. We have the Spanish Constitution, and I looked it up, and there's several articles about the king. What I've understood with it, is someone here is a lawyer or something like that, please tell me if I'm right, because what I've understood with it, so basically the article 56, I'm terrible with numbers, 56.3 says that the king, the person of the king, is inviolable. And I was like, okay, but what does that mean exactly? And in article 64 it says the king's actions, like the king won't be responsible for his action, but the people who endorse them. So it's like if the king make a decision or do something, it's not the king who takes responsibility for it, it's the people who has endorsed that decision of that or that action. So he can do whatever, he just don't face consequences. Is that what this means? Because like it sounds right, but it sounds so wrong, you know what I mean? Like to me it's like yes, because we've seen that he has faced so many things, like so many corruption cases. He actually left the country very recently because he was facing these cases. So he was just like bye bitches later, and he just literally left Saudi Arabia, I think he went. So he can do whatever he wants, and he doesn't face consequences really, and we cannot vote against him. This is what I've understood with it. I'm not sure if I'm right. I think I am, because of what we've seen throughout the years. I think that's why we still have the monarchy, because I'm pretty sure, I'm pretty sure if these surveys were made today again, but not like what do you think about the king? Do you think the king is doing a good job? Because that was the actual survey. Like I can say that yes, I guess he's doing a good job, I just don't want him to do it, you know what I mean? So I think if they did a survey today saying would you vote against the monarchy, would you vote for a republic, I do think most people will say yes. I don't know how longer this is going to last, because again, I think nowadays there's still many people who still like the monarchy, but I think it's not like in England. Maybe they're the same. Like let me know if you're from England. Are there many people against the monarchy? Because I feel like they really like it, even if they're left-winded. But here most of us are against it, and some people don't really care. I feel like there's people who are right-winded or left-winded even, and they don't really care about it. But again, we're giving so much money to them, and they're not really doing that much. It's not just that they're not doing that much, the fact that we don't choose them, with the fact that we don't get to decide if we want them specifically, many people are against that. What's like living in Spain is every Christmas Eve you get a speech from the king saying absolutely nothing. Every single year he says the same, and it's nothing. So it's like, why do we have the monarchy? I made it like really short. I tried to explain the basics, and again, don't really know much, so I'm not really sure if I did a good job with it, but this is what kind of everyone in Spain knows, so now you know. So if you like this type of video, please do subscribe to become a Spaniard. If you want to be also a Spaniard like a dog, please subscribe. Let me know in the comments what topics do you want me to touch on. Like I can talk about the dictatorship, and let me know if you're living in a country with our monarchy as well. Let me know if people are against it as well, of it's okay there. I don't know, I'm really confused. Like no one talk about this. I feel like everyone knows that England have now the king before he was the queen, but in the rest of the countries, like, we just saw young royals. Do you know what I mean? So let me know in the comments, and let me know what you think if you don't have a monarchy, if you knew we had one, and what do you think about it in general if you don't have it. I'm curious about that. With that, I'll see you in the next video. Bye.